I don't know. I don't see. Yeah.
In Google Sheets particularly, but now I'll check about you.
Yeah. Do you have a new Google Sheets schedule?
There was a screenshot that Masha sent yesterday. So
Yeah, it's an app too.
And it's
I
on
see,
the
I
app too.
see.
Yeah. So this is your special lecture of sound audio engineering this year. And I mean, there are. Let me explain you a couple of things that are happening here in terms of the course and some special things that consideration that I have made. So let me open here a file. I'm gonna close 1 second the recording video for a second, just because I'm showing like all my life here. Can you see my screen, or I'm not sharing it with you?
Yeah,
Yet?
yeah.
Yeah, I am. Okay. So teacher preparation. So now I can show again the recording. No BS. Okay, guys. So look, there is a subject. You are here. We are in the 3rd year, and you are seeing post-production with me. Like I mean, because we had a course of mixing together the per semester. Of course, I was not in favor of doing this. I respect a lot your time and your knowledge, and I know my limitations. I am not Superman, and I just cannot, you know, be a different person in July and then another person in September. But anyways, this is what the school ran with. So it is how it is, and you know, you and I have a story, and I don't want to make things boring or shitty for you. So of course I'm working really hard to try to make this cool, considering the circumstances that we just did a mixing course. And I took a special strategy here. Like there is a subject called because I wanted this subject to be taught by Ilya Marvel. So you guys get the opinion of Ilya for mixing. So the first thing I want you to know is that there is a subject that is called Audio Electrónica Cifrové Звук 2. I'm not seeing it right now for some really... here it is. It's in the 2nd year. Do you see it? Like, you have grades for Audio Electrónica Cifrové Звук 1. These grades, you saw them already. But you don't have grades for Audio Electrónica Cifrové Звук 2. That thing, because I don't want you to be bored to death, that thing is going to be a mixing course with Ilya Marvel.
Okay.
This is some little tweak in the matrix that I did.
It will be next semester.
It would be in February. Yes. Yes. So I want you to know that you will learn how to mix with Ilya Marvel anyways. And this was some history thing that I did. So we can actually, you know, like make the best education we can for you guys, considering the factors that we have in the table. So in that semester, Ilya is going to be teaching you mixing and mastering. I'm going to also talk about mixing and mastering this semester, but I'm going to do it a little bit from a different perspective than last year. And I'm going to explain you my program right now. But before I start, I wanted you to know that you are in post-production, AB. Your semester, your special lectures are post-production and sozdание virtual instrumentov. And музыкальное производство singles should be a really important topic for you, because that's where you're going to get a lot of studio experience from students, from other students, because you're going to be recording a lot in the studio in that lecture. So, I mean, I don't think that the engineers are badly represented in this year. Personally, I really don't think that, because of that thing that I'm telling you. Because you have for post-production, музыкальное производство single, и аудиоэлектроника цифровой звук 2. So you will have like 2 mixing courses, 1 film post-production course, and because I'm going to explain you my course in a second, and you also will have to be recording all the producers and songwriters, etc. in the музыкальное производство single. So all right, let's just get straight into it and see what the hell is going on. So our course, by the way, did I open the streaming again? Yes, I did. Great. So our course is called post-production, and it's an elective for engineers alone. And so, yeah, kind of part of the introductory thoughts that I already gave them. Hey guys, I know that you all made already a mixing course with me last semester. This has me very nervous because I don't want to be boring, I don't want to be terrible, and I want you to feel that your investment is well done. That is why I'm working really hard on this, to make it as dynamic and as cool as possible. That's one thing. The second thing is, like, I don't know, I have been talking with Ilya about mixing for 10 years together, and we never get bored of this. So I do see the opportunity of continuing our work together, and mixing together without it getting boring. But please, of course, like always, keep me informed about how do you feel, if you feel that we're going down the same path. I don't think that's going to happen, but please, I need your honesty. And if you're feeling annoyed or anger or something, just talk to me. And that's one thing.
Yeah,
The second thing is, like, hey, I know that you're seeing me a lot this year because you're kind of seeing me in Развитие технического слуха, even though you don't have to go to that lecture. The songwriters are seeing me too much, like, because they are seeing me in Развитие технического слуха. They're seeing me in musical production of a single, and that's it. They're not seeing me too much. And then you guys are seeing me only in post-production, I think. Did somebody raise their hand?
and for us it's two classes too.
Andrei, what do you
Did
want
you
to
say that развитие технического слуха is not obligatory for us?
It's not, because you have seen a lecture with Ilya Mazaev that is called Effects and Processing. Now, what I'm doing, it's super more cool than what Ilya Mazaev was doing. I mean, I don't mean to be an asshole to him, but I mean, I'm really putting a lot of efforts, and I think that the lecture series is coming pretty successful. So if you have a chance and you want to come, because we're doing some really serious critical listening and ear training, and I mean, we have learned a lot of things that I wish I would have taught you too. So, by the way, before we proceed, like, do you guys understand which lectures you have to go, or do you have a question about that?
Nah, not really.
Everything is clear.
Yeah, because we have a list.
Yeah, I wrote
in
a list.
Telegram with all the
Exactly.
lectures we should.
It should be pretty clear. I mean, it's just like some people are still lost about this. Okay, great.
Yeah. Can you send me this?
Yeah, sure.
It's in Telegram, bro, like in the Telegram channel.
I'm
actually,
so lost.
I will forward it.
There is a special point about you in particular, Andruja.
Yeah, about the production.
Yeah, because you already have grades for that.
You
can see these lectures again, and Dima and Artemi, you don't have to see those lectures, but you have to deliver the projects because you saw them, I guess, as observers. So in any ways, I mean, the third year for you, it's pretty much like a crossover between two worlds, the old world and the new world, and we need to be really close and talking because we need to make sure that this transition goes well for you. And that this doesn't feel boring or shit. And so please, I already had a meeting with Artemi. We had a cool conversation. Just please talk to me if you feel something, okay? I noticed that somebody answered the poll saying that everything is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know who is it. But
I don't mind. I'm happy. I want to just talk to that person. If you get to know who that person is, let me know. I just want to approach to that person and see what's up, just to see how can I help. Back to the topic of mixing. I mean, I don't know, guys. Like, I still, not only mixing on audio post-production in general, like, I'm still pretty much in love with this. I never stopped being much in love with this. I never stopped learning something new. I never stopped, like, growing about this. So I'm really excited that we're gonna make this course because I have, like, more power and more energy to do things more cool this year than last year. And I feel like I'm getting a second chance, and I don't plan to waste it. So I think that mixing is an infinite thing, and it's full of interesting conversations that we can have, and we will have them. So great. I'm really looking forward to this. Now, what would you like to get from this course? Can you help me to tell me a bit? I mean,
I actually don't know what is post-production course about.
Okay.
So how can I say something?
So I'm gonna put this slide at the end of this conversation that we're gonna have about the course, and then you will tell me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it like that. So great. That's kind of like an introductory kind of conversation. Now, I wanted to share with you something about my personal professional development and something that happened to me across my career path that I think is really important to you, and we are going to focus on that moment, kind of on that particular point that I'm stressing there. So I'm writing this very carefully, so I want to read it. It's like, using my career as an example, we can frame a sort of career path of a random sample of a professional music maker. If you assume fully committed person, and I mean 24/7 committed, careers can have some certain amount of stages, X amount of stages. I don't know how many, but these were kind of my personal case. This was kind of my personal case. So wait a second, I'm just fixing something. This was kind of my personal case. I had a time that was like I called it raw interest. You know, I was just super interested in something, and that was in between. I was kind of 14 and 21. I mean, kind of like only thing that was happening to me was that I was interested in music. It was nothing like I was already working or I already had I don't know, like a job or something, or I was in between 14 and 21. I was just interested. Then around 21, I had the thought like, I want to make this my job. I want this to be my main income. That happened when I was around 21. And then in between 21 and 25, I was doing some fingernail working and studying, you know, just with my fingers, just trying to do things and moving around. I remember recording an album in a repa basa, a whole album, you know, and I mean, I was just like every time coming and putting some mics to record the guitar caps and doing some drums recordings with SM58, SM57s and SM58s without condensers, like overheads, overheads being like two SM57s or something. Like, I mean, all of this, actually, I remember the name of the band, of that band, one of the bands I worked, it was called Tyrell's Owl. So I did all that, and then I mixed that at home with some speakers, some like crappy speakers and some headphones. And then there was this time, which is like young professional in the wild / fingernail working still, that happened between when I was 25 and 32. And that time is the time that we're going to focus in. And I will explain you what I mean in a second. And then it comes this moment, which is like more like confident professional / income growing parabolically each year / always developing. It's been kind of the last, I would say 4 years, kind of like from 33 till now, something like that. So what followed then is like what something happened really important around the young professional in the wild fingernail working phase. And the first thing that happened is that I made custom earplugs and took the protection of my hearing to a new level. So you see, this thing started happening to me when I was around 30, something like that. So, or 27, something like that. So my goal would be that these things doesn't happen to you so late. I became a monster at editing and using my DAW. You really haven't seen this, like you, I mean, students, like you all, you haven't seen really my capacities of editing, and I'm just like a brutal monster on Pro Tools editing. I mean, I can just really super fast get things done, and my clients are really impressed with these skills, and they're really looking for, I mean, and they feel very comfortable to work with me because I just like, whenever there is a problem or I need to fix something, it just takes me seconds to do it. And this is going to be the main focus on the first part of the course. I'm going to squeeze the hell out of you to edit very much, because we really haven't done this. We really haven't sat down and made some proper, serious, big editing of a full EP, you know, with a whole bunch of drums that are out of the Sietka, you know, with bass notes that are wrong and that you need to change them, you know, with vocal things that need to be tuned, with vocal tracks that need to be tuned, and all of that jazz. So that's going to be a really, 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 really important part of this course, because I want you to become monsters in editing using your DAW. Now we don't have Pro Tools in the school, which sucks, but I mean, I want to see what can you do with your DAW, and we will discover. Maybe it's just impossible to do the things that I want to do in Pro Tools in the DAWs that you want to work with. I don't know, some people say that they can edit in Ableton super well, some people say that they can edit in Logic super well. Of course, I will be able to demonstrate you my techniques in Pro Tools, but we are going to have to work together to adapt, to understand how we can adapt these techniques to your world in your DAW. And if the result is that you're going to have to buy Pro Tools for yourself, because you will realize that working at the level I am can only be done at Pro Tools, then you're going to have to do it, because it's not optional. Like, I mean, to have this level of control of editing, it's just not optional. Like, you need to be able to have a library of takes. You know, imagine, like, let's say a drum recording that has 14 tracks, and then inside those 14 tracks there are 10 playlists, you know, or 10 different takes. And if this can be done in Ableton, great, you're gonna show me how, because maybe you know how to do it. If this can be done in Logic, great, you're gonna show me how, because this can be do it. But I don't know how to do this in other places that is not Reaper or Pro Tools. So one option we have is to install in all the computers Pro Tools first, which is the free version of it, and then use that track limitation. But one of the things I wanted to kind of like explore in this course with you is like, hey, maybe you can teach me how this can be done in other DAWs. So we cannot be DAW dependent, but we can be DAW agnostic, and then just use any DAW that we want. We will
No, sorry. The question. Do you know, may I somehow renew the subscription for Pro Tools right now, or buy it like for version without subscription? Because I have a license for till January, I think. But
you can use it till January.
That,
you can use it till January.
Yeah, sure, I understand, but I want to use it after too.
Look, I don't know, bro. Like right now, Ilya and I are in some really big battle with some English company. Like, let me put you the long story short. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I think you will be able to, but of course, don't to use a VPN, because Avid is really assholes with Russia. And
it's not about VPN, it's about the card. Like, I can pay. About payment.
Okay, but if that's the case, bro, no, then I mean, you can, for example, if you want to do that, really, you can use my card. You know, I have a card that can pay abroad.
Okay.
Don't. Ilya also has one. Artemi has also one. So so yeah, about the card, and also yeah, you will have to use kind of like my crypto card or Ilya's crypto card or Artemi's crypto card.
Nice.
But
thanks.
you can do it. You can do it.
I have this as well, actually.
And
Okay.
has it as well,
I should do it too.
So yeah, you should. Yeah. So finally, everybody ends up in crypto. Wow. So okay. The other thing that happened is that I became a master at editing, and this is really important for me. So you will see as I explain you the course. One of the first things I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna give you a whole EP that is like, I don't know, I think it's like 4 or 5 songs, and it's a mess of performance. And I'm gonna give it to you raw, and you have to edit that to my standards. So you're gonna have many weeks to do that. We're going to be seeing those techniques here and understand, because in my understanding, we have done mixing, we have done a lot of stuff, but we really haven't tuned vocals, and we really haven't edited albums. Do you feel that I'm right with that?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So you see, another thing that I wanted you to tell you is that, you know, guys, like, I really know that we have spent a lot of time here together, and I'm repeating myself, and I don't want to be boring. But what I can really do for you is to generate a lot of content, because really, when we want to learn something, for example, I want to be a better guitarist, and if I kind of self-motivate myself to do it, I always fail. Like, I need somebody who be like on top of me, bothering me, telling me to do something. So obviously I'm going to be that guy for you, and that is how I think I can be useful on the first hand. And on the second hand, I'm going to generate a lot of content, which means I have shit tons of EPs and albums in my home. They're waiting for me edited and stuff that I can give you. And the third thing is that you will see we're going to be following a book that is really cool, that it's on, especially on mixing. And so I'm going to be digesting this book for you and presenting it to you, because maybe if I would just give you the book and tell you read it, you won't. So I think that even though we have spent so much time together and we have done this course, I think it's going to be great. Of course, I'm nervous, guys, and that's why I'm repeating this so many times, because I respect you. But as usual, keep it open, transparent, and I'll be hearing you. Okay, so the other thing that happened in this period was that I realized that important psychological barriers were standing between me and good mixes. We have discussed this a lot, and I'm not going to talk about this. Andre, you were not in some of those discussions, but if you are interested, I can tell you what I mean. But I think Dima pretty much knows what I mean. We discussed this a lot in the previous course, etc. The other thing that happened in this period of like young professional in the wild fingernail working phase, I became more disciplined. Boring tasks became very interesting and fundamental to me. like ear training, like editing, like automation, like panning, like basic compression, basic equalization. I mean, that really became as interesting to me as, I don't know, as partying or something. And so far, somehow it happened. I became more disciplined on the cost of saying pohui. I guess I'll say it like that. So I became more disciplined, and the cost of saying pohui became higher. So, I mean, I just realized that every time you say pofik, everything becomes more and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I became more disciplined in this period. Remember, I'm talking like, you see, in between 14 and 21, I was just like, whatever, just having fun. And then in between 21, I was like, hey, I really want to make money out of this. In between 21 and 25, I was saying pohui a lot. I was boring tasks were not interesting to me. I was not caring so much about editing. I had these psychological barriers. So these things changed in that period. I also stopped acting as if the songs I was working on were mine, and I came back to the realization that the songs were my clients. So Artemi and I worked in some little project in the summer. I mean, in the sense that I gave a client to Artemi that was kind of like busting my cojones, if we can say it like that. So I was like, okay, go and mix with Artemi, and if anything goes wrong, I'll fix it. And if Artemi would be here with us, I guess that we will be discussing a little bit his experience of what happened there, and how hard it is sometimes to separate yourself between the music that you're mixing and you know. But the point is that this music is not yours, and you need to be able to realize this. And my hearing became more acute. Like, I think that I remember like around February this year, it's kind of a moment when I started listening very clearly audio distortion, like in general, like, I mean, a distortion of the low end and stuff. So all of those things started becoming more apparent as my career progressed, and it all happened in that era between 25 and 32. And of course, I'm still developing. I mean, I learn something new every day. I'm teaching all these courses, so I'm not saying like I learned all of that in that period, but I really am saying one of the reasons why I have so much work is because I became a monster at editing in this period, and that's going to be really important. So what do I want to achieve today? I want to identify the basic building blocks of the course, post-production. I want to initiate the process of engaging with the course. So I want to identify interesting mixing engineers that we will explore in this semester. So I'm going to show you a couple of mixing engineers that are really cool. And we're going to talk about them and their songs, and I want to hear your opinions. I hope that the stream quality is good enough. Maybe you can open the same songs at home. Maybe that's better, so you can feel them better, and then we'll see.
I think it's better, yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually, maybe it's interesting if we go to, when we get there, we're going to get there soon. You can open the presentation, and the examples are right there, so you don't even have to search them. They're in Google Classroom,
sure.
Like always, like with all my classes. Like if you go to post-production, here they are, like my slides. So you can just go there and oh, sorry, I didn't this, I need to delete this. Sorry, let me just delete this now. Not letting me. Well, I'm not gonna lose that. Yeah, delete here. Done. Okay, cool. So I also want to describe the concept of musical balance and spectral balance. I don't know if we're gonna get there, but I think that that's something that I wanted to discuss with you, and identify the first assignment of the course. I already have an assignment for you, and actually it's an assignment that is for next week. So I did it on purpose just to shake you a bit, because I mean, it's kind of like a new course with me again, and so I wanted to do things differently, and I didn't want you to feel like, oh yeah, this is so chilled and so relaxed, we have done this already. So yeah. Now, in this course, we want to help you to arrive to release quality mixes on a budget with a typical small studio environment. So that's kind of the goal. We will also use a resource called SOS, is Sound on Sound. They have a segment inside Sound on Sound that is called Mix Rescue. Sorry, it looks like this. So we're gonna use a lot of resources that come from this website. You know, it's kind of like a person comparing two mixes and analyzing, and then you can hear like the samples of before and after. Like we will be analyzing this kind of things and see what these engineers were doing to improve a mix and stuff. Like, we will get some information from this series too. What do you need to know already? That I'm sure that you know already. Fundamental physics, measurement and perception of sound, amplitude, decibel, loudness, frequency, hertz, pitch, sine waves, the harmonic series, frequency response. You also need to know setups and sessions and studio session workflows, transmissions and storage of medium, the basic of mics, DIS cables, multitrack recorders, mixers, routing, all of these that you already know. You have already seen it. If there is a need for a recap, if you guys think that, oh, I would like to restudy these things, there is a really good source here from Cambridge MT, Music Technology faculty. And this is a pretty comprehensive, like all around audio engineering, you know, like a story of what is what and what is there. Actually, that famous multi-track download library comes from here. So, you know, that famous library. So this is a really good subject, really good kind of like all around resource. And if you need something, just come back here and have a look. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, they're asking me a question here. Все хорошо, все хорошо. Okay, so now it's time to discuss the engineers that I want to discuss. So should you open the presentation? I see that Dima already did. Andriuha, do you want to open it? Do you want to hear it through Google Meet? Like, what is your plan about this?
Yeah, I can hear it through the stream.
Okay, let's go. Dima, let's try at the beginning so we are all in sync and you make a choice, okay? You can choose. So obviously, obviously the first person that comes in my list, it's my favorite, is Andrew Schweppes. So my goal right now, let me show you. I have like a bit of a collection of people here, and I want us to hear a couple of songs of them and just discuss how awesome they are and why they are so amazing. So let's go back here and start with Andrew Schweppes, because one of the things I wanted to break, one of the ideas that I wanted to present to you is that these guys can mix anything, and they can mix anything at a maximum level, and they win Grammys mixing anything. So you will see, I purposefully chose from each one of these engineers two very different styles and genres and trends, so you can see that these guys can just do it all. So let's try how this sounds. Tell me, how do you guys feel about it? Do you hear the stream?
No.
No.
Okay, let me check. I think I know why. And now?
All my friends tell that's how you sang it. Loving you forever can't.
Can you hear?
Mm-mm.
Really not. Wait.
Let's try. Can you send a link to YouTube?
Yeah, of course I can.
Maybe.
I think I know why, guys. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know why. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can hear it.
Yeah, now we can.
All my friends tell me I should move on. I'm lying in the ocean singing your song.
What's up?
It's complete shitty quality.
It's complete. Well, Dima, you have it there. You have it there on the.
Yeah, sure.
You can just open here. Andrei, are you in the phone or something? Like, why can you open it in the computer?
It is on my computer, but my computer is kind of broken because I spilled water on the speakers.
Oh, okay. So let's do this. Dima,
Yeah.
you can mute Google Meet for a second, like,
Sure.
and I will hear it with Andriuha here. Andriuha, da? We do it like that?
Can you repeat, please?
I mean, I'm offering this solution. Dima can mute us and hear for a little bit both songs, and you and I will hear it here in synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Or Andriuha, or do you want to open the songs yourself?
Let me try the headphones from Apple. Maybe
Yeah.
it will work.
That would be sweet. I mean, if you can hear it from from the browser is better. I mean, I just wanted you to. I mean, it's a pity that we're not here together in the classroom so we can discuss this in simultaneously. But I'm just gonna play it and then you guys do what you feel.
All my friends tell me I should move on. I'm lying in the ocean singing your song. Ah, that's how you sang it. Loving you forever can't be wrong. Even though you're not here, won't move on. Ah, that's how we played it. And there's no remedy for memory. Your face is like a melody. It won't leave my head. Your soul is haunting me and telling me that everything is fine. But
Are you guys there with me or where are you now? Are you listening?
Yeah.
So you're listening here in the stream, Andrucha?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what I love about Andrew Schwepp's mixes is that they're always so huge and so wide. Let's see to the moment when this thing explodes a little bit later.
I don't wanna wake up from this tonight.
Like, and if I go
That you won't be waiting on the other side. Every time I close my eyes, it's like a dark paradise.
well, I mean, I guess that you cannot hear this in the stream like that, but they're so wide and so huge and so full.
Telling me I'm fine. Every time I close my eyes, it's like a dark.
And now, I mean, just check this out. I mean, this is a totally different material, and it's one of my
I
favorite.
mean, I can imagine how it sounds on a big system.
Yes.
So
Yes, and now,
Okay.
I mean, the point is about, imagine that you are the same engineer and you're mixing these two super different records. Just, yeah. It's very interesting how this band always super pans the guitars. Like, I mean, I have the guitar on the right. I don't know if you hear it in stereo, and like a super far right, and the organ in the super far left. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna play so long because you are there at home and I'm here, and it's just a bit awkward. But I wish my goal with this point was that we were gonna be here, the three of us, in the classroom, and that we're gonna feel this in the speakers. But yeah, I hope that it's gonna be in another time. The next, and Dima, I don't know if you want, you can just go through all of these engineers and then come back to the stream, like, and I will do this in synchronicity with Andriucha.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, just however you want. You can do it in synchronicity with us, or just mute this and listen to all the engineers, all the songs, and then come back to us and tell me which one is your favorite after one, which one you like more.
Okay.
That would be really cool. Now, this guy, Andrew Dawson, really shocked me. I knew nothing about him, zero. And the guy is kind of like a mystery. Like this is an interview I found for him. That's why he's the only one that has like a link. This is an interview that I found of him. He worked with Kanye West. Like, I mean, he worked with Childish Gambino, Destiny's Child, like so many things he did. But if you go to YouTube, like, and you go like Andrew Dawson, if you go to YouTube and you go like Andrew Dawson mixing, like, you will get zero. There is nothing. The only thing that there is a 15-year-old video of Chanel, this like artist, just like, hi guys, I'm like streaming from the studio with Andrew, like some shit like that. But it's just absolutely, you see, like this is the only video I found of this guy. There's nothing. He's like a mystery, man. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like this dude.
I like that their names are Andrew, so I have
Yeah.
big opportunities.
Exactly. You see, like there is nothing about this guy. It's like a mystery. Like there is another video of this Chanel, and there is nothing else, man. Like you never see this guy. Like mixing Finnish guitar Philips that, like never. I really searched and I couldn't find anything like from him. Now he mixed one of my favorite records, which is in because of the internet by Childish Gambino, and yeah, it's super huge and super creative. Production, like we have heard.
Freaking out.
We have heard. I love this song so much. Actually, I want to go back a bit because I love this
He's with
song.
her friends all the time, showing off her ass, that's a network. But I saw through it like a wet shirt. Drive slow cause your mic swerve off it. Still eating the hate so saucy. Put shrooms in my roommate's coffee and got more likes than a white girl talking. More hits than a fight comp where they fight cops. Didn't stop when I heard shots. But
Yeah, this is amazing. We have heard it. And now check this out. Check this out. The newest record he mixed. Do you know this band, Andruja, called Code Orange?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know it till yesterday. Check this out. It's really interesting the difference between what he's mixing. Like,
Under the black and inside the blue, I both expel as washed away. It took some time, but I realized the obstacle's the only way. Under the black and inside the blue.
so you get the point. Some sort of like metalcore or like kind of rap.
Experimental play and prove your story for them all to tell. My head's so gray, a forced intrusion. They break me apart. You think you know what you want until you're reasonless. You got it all figured out until you're drowning in it. You think you know who you are until you're under the
So really shocked about this guy. Actually, I'm very happy that the photo that I found about him, you see, he's like mixing in the kitchen there. It's like some kitchen place there, listening with some headphones. Yeah, you see, it's literally in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy that that's the photo I found. Like, yeah, I mean, he's pretty powerful engineer, and I mean, and when you see the albums he has made, like, if he has a Wikipedia article, and I'm gonna go to show it to you, because he has some interesting things there. So look, like there is Pusha T, Linkin Park, Childish Gambino, Tyler the Creator, Kanye West, the Rolling Stones, another Kanye West, Pep Shop Boys. Like, he seems to have had like a bigger. You see, he worked a lot with Kanye, like College Dropout. The Notorious Big also did a lot of hip hop. JC, John Legend. I mean, a pretty serious dude, like Lil Wayne, etc. So, yeah, that's a pretty serious dude. I never heard about him until now, and pretty cool that we have found him and we can see some stuff by him. The next person I want to discuss is Michael Brower. So, look, we will really study Michael Brower very close, because Michael Brower, it is really one of the most important people in sound engineering. Have you heard about him before this moment?
No.
No? Michael Brower is a guy that, I mean, he kind of has this theory of parallel compression, like kind of doing parallel compression of almost all the elements, but he's very strong at this thing, which is like, you know, when you and I make parallel compression, maybe we choose some compressor because we find it cool and we use that compressor as a parallel compressor. Like, Michael Brower understands the frequency response and velocity curves of all of those compressors, and so he calibrates his compressors to his elements very carefully. So there is a process called Brouwerization, literally. It's called like,
I've
yeah.
heard this.
It's because of Michael Brouwer.
The specific kind of parallel compression.
Brouwerizing. You see, like
Yeah.
like and maybe
I actually have tried this.
Yeah.
On, my mixes.
Yeah, I did it too, and then I decided in a point that I dropped it because just because I thought it required some better, like attention, and I just like was doing it not with attention. So actually, let's discuss this, and maybe I think we're gonna make a lecture about Brouwerizing. I think we're gonna make a lecture about Brouwerizing, and I'm not think so. I'm sure so. We will do it. I want to show you one song that he mixed. Because, every time I can show you a little bit of Latin America, I really like to do this, and this is a song by Calle 13. They won a Grammy with this song, with this album, and Michael Brouwer mixed it. And in this case, I think I really want to play this whole thing. This song features Julian Assange. He's also in the song. He recorded some sample from the Ecuadorian embassy when he was there, and it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal of a song. And it's actually featuring Tom Morello too from Rage Against the Machine. It's a pretty big production. Dude, the lyrics are amazing. I wish you could understand them. Actually, like Julian Assange record a little piece for these guys.
You are strong.
Do you know who is Julian Assange?
No.
Julian Assange was a person who leaked some secret footage of the American army bombarding civilians in Iraq, and he has been in prison. Kind of like for 11 years now. because of that. I mean, it's like an helicopter footage of an helicopter just literally shooting down some civilians, and he stole this footage from the American army, and he's the creator of WikiLeaks. I mean, maybe you have heard about WikiLeaks. Julian Assange is the person who created. So, because it's, I think it's a pretty monster production. I mean, you heard everything there. There was rock, there was Latin, there was Arab music, there was, I mean, imagine mixing that. Imagine mixing that and winning a Grammy mixing that. I mean, and then Michael Brower also mixed Coldplay Parachutes. Have you ever heard this record?
Nope.
Man, this is one of the best records ever made. Really, it was the first, in my opinion, I really mean it, the first record of Coldplay. Like, it's so... Man, my skin is becoming like chicken right now. It's such a beautiful album. It was very different to what Coldplay is now, of course. But you understand, like, we just heard this maximum level, maximum energy, everything together, all super brutal. And now check this out. Super subtle, man. You will see it's so subtle, so...
Bones sinking like stone is all that we fall for. Homes, places we've grown, all of us are done for. And we live in a beautiful world. Yeah, we do, yeah, we do. We live in a beautiful world.
So, anyways, you get the point. I mean, it's very subtle, very beautiful. I'm skipping a bit because we have to talk about other people. Coldplay. This is, sorry, I just made a mistake here. Parachutes by Coldplay. Coldplay. Great. So, all right, let's move on. The next person I want to talk about is Manny Marroquin. Have you heard about him before?
Nah.
Yeah, and I'm really happy. I mean, I wanted to offer you new people, new things, things that open your mind, so you can create, new reference points. By the way, Dima, are you there or are you listening? I guess that you're listening.
I'm kind of dumb.
You went through everything and heard it really quickly.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool. All right.
It's not very quickly. I can say something about every example.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, great. Let me finish this with Andriuja, like
Sure,
and
no
then
problem.
we can discuss this. Okay. So Manny Marroquin was quite interesting a case for me. I mean, he did "Living Things" by Linkin Park. I mean, I really have never heard this record until now. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it.
I can see through this time. I finally let you go. No, you can tell them all now. I don't back up. I don't.
So yeah, pretty huge. And also he did Magdalene by FKA Twigs, which is pretty experimental pop. so huge mixes, really interesting stuff. The next person in my list is Will Jeep. This is basically a rock person. You know, he's doing mostly rock music, but he's really contemporary. He's younger than all of these guys, and he's kind of like, I have spoken much about to you about him because I really love this guy. He's the face of the new alternative rock and post-hardcore, and so it kind of, I love him so much. Like, it kind of goes like this. It has his signature sound. He has his studio. He's a pretty cool guy, and it's kind of like this huge modern bass sound, huge drum sound.
Oh yeah, I know what this was.
Yeah, this album is amazing. So it's just pretty modern, in your face, and zero old school sounding things. And another example I put here, I really love this album by Circa Survive that is called The Amulet. And they released an album like last week or something, but I don't know. I was not so happy with it. But here we go. It's kind of like, yeah, it's the same sound. It's like, now, and the last person, of course, is Joe Barresi. For some reason, the photo of Joe Barresi is not here. And he did Tool, Fear Inoculum. We have heard it a lot in the school. Andre, do you remember? Just in case, because I'm not going to play it, I guess, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm not going to play it, so it's like great mixed rock record. And I put you here something from 1994 that he did. In which year you guys were born? I was born in 1985. In which year you guys were born?
2000.
So imagine, and you, Dima?
97.
97. So, I mean, you were -3, you were -6, and I was 9. Like when Joe Barresi was already mixing records. And actually, if you don't know Caius and you're interested in rock music, you should study Caius. Caius was the first band of the guitarist of Queens of the Stone Age, of Josh Homme. And it was kind of like a group of people from the desert in California. You know, you'll see it's really different mix. And actually, I really wanted to hear this with you in the speakers here because it's just like, it's not a good mix, really. But yeah, I guess it works. Classic stoner rock with James Hetfield style vocals. So, okay, what did you thought about it, Dima? What was your thoughts about these engineers? Have you heard
My
about them
choice
before?
will be Andrew Sheps or Joe Barresi. I can explain why.
Tell me why. Yeah, I really want to hear that.
I want to say about everyone a bit in 2 words.
Let's go back. Andrew Sheps.
Andrew has like frequency clarity and frequency distribution, as I may say like this. And that's what I like in mixes, because I can easily focus in like every instrument, every sound that in the mix. And Joe Barresi the same. And you said that the second mix is bad. Kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think so. It just has vibe of venue or repa baza, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I think
same time, it's clear too.
Yeah.
Like guitar is a bit muddy, but whole mix is good enough, I think. And for 94.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, sorry, you're right. I made a mistake when I said that. I think that it's better to say something like
it's bad for now. But
it's bad for now. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about Andrew Dawson?
Dawson. There's nothing I can say about him, just like good enough to release. I think it's like some more modern mixing engineer. Sorry, but I can focus on anything in his mixes.
And Brower?
Brouwer, I think you know that Brouwer has his own mixing technique,
Да.
Brouwerizing.
Да,
Yeah,
we discussed it,
it's
yeah.
too good for me
Yeah.
because the whole technique is like built on that you glue everything
Yeah,
with each other.
yeah.
But I personally like the clarity of the mixes, so
Yes.
the mixes are good, but not for me.
And what about Manny Marroquin?
Many Maroc, good clarity, but strange frequency treatment.
Uh-huh.
It's too artistic or something.
And Will?
I don't know.
And did you hear anything about Will?
Strange balances.
Strange balances. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And Andruja, do you want to say something about it? Or it was...
I would say I like Andrew Dawson just because of the records he mixed.
Yeah.
Like that's my vibe, you know.
Yeah, and I thought about this. That's why when I was choosing all these engineers, you know, like Joe Barrisi is my favorite one, but I wanted not it to be kind of like open for your musical tastes too, kind of like. So that's why I was choosing.
It's
these
open
people.
for personal
Interpretation or
hearing capacities or something like that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And what person like to hear.
Yes, that's true. So, all right, I wanted just to introduce those guys and to hear a bit of music with you together. It's a pity that we're not in the room together, but well, that's how it is. So, okay, now I can go to discuss the course plan a little bit and how I plan to evaluate you and what we're going to be doing this semester. So, I mean, I don't care that we are 3 people only. I think that means that I can pay more attention to you. I'm really excited about this course, and I'm going to hit it as if there were 100 people in the classroom. Like, I don't care. If sometimes it would be a lecture in which only one of you is here, I will deliver it fully anyways. I'm not going to fall for that thing, which is like, oh, there's only one person here, so I'm not going to give the lecture. So we will do exactly the course and follow it. And who knows, maybe if nobody shows in, maybe I'll even give the lecture and leave the video there so we don't lose the pace. It's very possible. Something like that I will do. I want to keep it tight. So this is the course content. We are in a part 1 that is called kind of hearing and listening. And there is a block of 2 lectures that, it's kind of like one lecture really, but it's called like using near field monitor, supplementary monitoring, and comping and arrangement. Excuse me, I'm wrong. It's a block of 2 lectures. You will see why I'm saying that. And then we will see timing and tuning adjustments and editing practice. So I want us to start with this deep edit / tune / compile project. So we're going to grab something. We're going to have kind of like, you see, this is a space of 7 lectures. So 7 lectures is not exactly, maybe it's 7 weeks. Maybe it's 7 weeks. I'm not sure. Because sometimes there can be 2 lectures in 1 week. But we're going to have 7 weeks to explore how to edit something properly and how to do it. But at the same time, I'm not going to be only teaching you that. Next week, we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to kind of like let you do your exercise, and then you can come to me and ask me questions and we can discuss things. So then we're going to see an editing practice here in the school, kind of like just show you how I edit so we can be sure that you're following the whole thing. We're going to see something like mixing preparation and stuff like that. I'm honest with you, I'm going to edit this block here because I was making some changes yesterday, and there will be a change in this block. But the next part is really going to be like that. Building raw balance, compressing for a reason, beyond compression, equalizing for a reason, beyond EQ, frequency selective dynamics, power of side chains, towards fluent balancing, mixing with reverb, mixing with delays, stereo enhancements, master bus processing, etc. The first semester is editing and mixing. And my goal is to make a better job than last year, to make it more academic, more focused, more cool. The second semester, it's because you see, you are supposedly, like for example, when I deliver this course next year, most likely we will be mixing the whole year. But because you and I had already a semester mixing, and because Ilya is going to teach you mixing in the second semester, our second semester are going to be about basic TV and film post-production. So we're going to be doing challenge of the battlefield of post-production, from set to the laboratory. We're going to do a practice on how to mix things for a multimedia project. We're going to be doing like spotting picture and sound and music, custom recording sound effects, sound design, sound editorial, ADR and looping, Foley, project reviews. We're going to be discussing the music composers, the rescoring stage. We're going to be discussing, and then the last block of the whole course, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, is going to be audio restoration. So we're going to see digital signal processing, probability theory, removal of clicks and hiss reduction, removal of low frequency noise, Audacity, and Isotope RX. So we're going to see that kind of like in the final block. And so in the first semester, you will have 3 projects: deep, edit, tune, and comp. You're going to mix one EP, and then you're going to mix a second EP. So I'm going to give you 2 EPs. We're going to be doing that in between now and February, something like that. And in the second semester, you're going to do a multimedia project. You did something like this with Paravishnikov, but in my opinion, that course was a joke. So I'm sorry to say it like that, and I'm really sad that it was like that, and I'm angry that it was like that. But
It was experience.
yeah, it was experience on how things should not be, I guess. So we're gonna solidify our knowledge. I don't know if you know. I think I have mentioned it in some classes. Andrew has not been with me for a while. I'm writing a soundtrack for a movie right now. So right now I'm really inside a major blockbuster project, and I'm seeing some things from inside of it that I want to share with you and stuff. So I think that you haven't had a proper training on this, and we're going to go through what you did with Paravishnikov, but we're going to spend 1 semester seeing it calmly, with attention, and with delivery. So, okay, how am I going to grade you, and what's going to happen in terms of the projects and everything? So, all right, I don't know how do you feel about this, but I would like you to prepare for me a presentation that is called Using Near Field Monitoring and Supplemental Monitoring, and that presentation should be ready by next Wednesday. Like, such a short notice, because I wanted to put you, like, you know, in your toes. Like, I want us to have a conversation next week about how to install monitors in your house. What should you think about when you're putting speakers and all of that. And I'm going to give you a book that you can go and just rip off that book and copy it and give me a presentation from that book. I don't care. What I want is that you do the research, not me. So the first thing you're going to do is a presentation called Using Near Field Monitoring and Supplemental Monitoring. That's 5% of your whole grade. And then there is the Deep Tune comping project. And then the second one, I'm calling it like Deep Tune comping mixing task 2, because, I mean, you're going to have to edit the thing that you're going to mix. And then there is mixing task 3. Sorry, I have like a bit of a mistakes here. Let me just correct this one. This is mix task 2. Sorry. So let me just call it like this. So in the first one, you will not have to mix. You will only have to edit. In the second one, you will have to mix and edit. And in the third one, you will have to mix, which maybe includes editing, but I don't call it like that anymore, because I think that the task that you're going to get for the mixing task 2 is more like already ready to go. It's just like pure mixing, you know. And then on the second semester, we're going to do 2 big media projects. So I guess that I'll drop in there some little damashki to keep it more interesting. But we're going to do, I mean, my expectations is that we do, imagine, something for YouTube and something for TV. I have, because I have worked for TV, I have like TV series fully downloaded with all the video and the audio and everything ready to mix, like a full, not TV series, but a full episode, like of 40 minutes or something. And so I was thinking that in this semester, the thing that we can do that is different than what we did before is to help you, to put you in this space, you know, in the young professional, in the wild fingernail working space, to help you to develop these things that happened to me in that region, which in that region of my biography, which were really, really, really important for my capacity to make money nowadays. So that's kind of what I want to do with you guys this semester. Now, we're going to be basing our course in 3 books, okay? Your course is special in that sense. Other courses, I only have 1. But in yours, I have 3 books. Don't get angry with me if I'm just like copy-pasting this book and putting it on the presentations. The reason why I'm doing that is not, well, I mean, it's maybe because I don't have enough time to do it better. It's maybe for a million of reasons, but I don't do it for being mediocre. I'm doing because I'm assuming that if we sit down and I tell you, go and read this book, and I tell to myself, go and read this book, like it would never happen. If we unpack this book together slowly, we are going to learn a lot more than if I start trying to improvise how to give this course and to follow my wind. Mike Senior is a pretty senior guy in this topic, and he really knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I'm interested in exploring this semester like this. In the second semester, we're going to use a book by David Lewis Udall, which is called Practical Art of Motion Picture and Sound. That's going to be kind of like our book for the second semester. And then we're going to see Digital Audio Restoration by Simon J. Gottsill. By the way, those books are, if you click here, you get a link to the PDF. So they are there. And again, I'm repeating you, don't get angry if you notice that there is so much connection between my presentations and this book. It's just like, I really feel that this semester, the only way I can deliver a good lecture to everybody is if I base it on the work on others and I use their experience, because I'm maxed out and I don't want to fuck it up. So I'm just being careful there. So the same with all the other books. And yeah, so like I was telling you, the first part of this course relates to monitoring and room preparation. And so, but I want you to give that lecture. So in Google Classroom, there is already a request of you to build a presentation. So let me tell you what's going on there. So the presentation is about speaker position and monitoring. If you open the book of Mike Senior, you will see that these texts that I put you here come from the book. So, I mean, you can literally just make an analysis of those chapters and put it in a presentation form and give the class yourself. So next week, I would like this to happen, that each student takes like kind of roughly maximum 30 minutes, and you share with us kind of like, what do you think it should happen when you're choosing speakers? What considerations should you be taking into account when using near field monitors? What factors should be taken in place when you choose your speakers? You should explain the concept of frequencies response for speakers. I mean, you really need to follow these points. You cannot not follow these points. You need to introduce the audience on the thoughts on speaker stands and other mounting hardware. What factors should be taken into consideration when positioning the speakers? Stereo monitoring versus mono monitoring. What can you do to deal with acoustic reflections and tackling room resonances? And when is the moment when you can say my monitoring is good enough? This presentation should be either like in Google Sheets or something, Google Slides, and a link. It can be like that, like I share my presentations with you. You can do it like that. Or you can put me a PDF. You need to deliver the presentation to the class. Please use photos, GIFs, and graphics and illustrations. It should be cool. Treat this as if it is you who will be giving the class. There would be, in this case, I will not give extensions or delayed deliveries or something, like I'll be strict with this. So because the next class will be based on your presentations. If you don't build anything, there will be no class. And the presentation accounts to 5% of the total degree of the course. Do you feel that asking you to do this in 7 days, it's unfair, or does it sound reasonable?
It's okay.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like this presentation, it's 37 slides. Like your presentation, I mean, it should be kind of like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 topics. It's kind of, or 8 questions. It's kind of like 2 slides per question. So it's kind of like 16
In the
slides.
case when you give us a book where we can find the answers for each question, it's enough.
Yeah. and I'm doing it on purpose because I want us to get used to this book. And I also want I want you to go and read it. So the only way I can make sure that you do that is if I do this. Okay? And that's kind of like the introductory thoughts I wanted to share with you. Maybe we will end a little bit earlier. It's like we have 4 minutes to go. Do you have any questions or comments or something about this course, or how do you feel it? Does it look okay? Does it look crap? Are you nervous about it? What's up?
For now, it's all good.
Yeah, everything sounds good.
Yep, and it would be like this. Like, I mean, right now I have a pretty automatic mode. Like, I'm just literally going through my books, let me show you, like just going through the books and kind of like just taking the most important things, making sure that I curate a good debate in the school, and then give you tasks. So that's kind of my aspiration. I don't mean to do plagiariat or to copy somebody. It's just like I have to teach a lot of subjects, and I don't want to have this feeling that I had sometimes last year, which is like, fuck, like, am I really teaching this guy something? Like, I really want it to be substantial. So I hope that I can achieve that.
And one more question.
I'm gonna. Is it related to the course or?